Welcome to Real Life Cooking. Happy Sunday. Let's see if I can tag. I don't know why I can't tag Monica. Post. Pin comment. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Real Life Cooking. There we go. Welcome to Real Life Cooking, everyone. Today we have a very special guest. This is my final episode of this season of Real Life Cooking. And we have a very special guest. Monica Carter will be joining us very, very shortly. And we are going to be making prawn pasta salad. She wanted something really simple because she's a busy person, as she will explain for herself. And yeah, so let's go ahead and let her on in. Hello. Oh, hey, Hannibal's Kitchen. I haven't seen you in a while. And Chris, you got it on Facebook too, so you can watch the comments on Facebook? Yep. All right. Hello, everyone. Hello. Just letting Monica join. Hi, Judy Malone. Welcome. Hey, Monica. Look at you turning up the heat in 30 minutes.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for being on the show tonight. I'm very, very excited to cook with you.
I'm so excited.
So if you want to just quickly introduce yourself to our fans and friends and family that are watching, go ahead.
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. My name is Monica Carter. I am a family nurse practitioner by day in obstetrics and gynecology. So I love taking care of women. My life's work is to look out for, encourage, empower, take care of women, especially pregnant women. And I'm also a mom. I have 2.5-year-old triplets screaming upstairs because Ben is doing bath time, and that is not the plan. They're like, no, not you. So they're wondering why I'm not giving them a bath. I can hear them. Hopefully you can't. I created a course for nurse practitioners to learn how to negotiate their dream job. So it's called the compensation course. And in that course, it basically holds the hand of NPs when they're interviewing, finding a job, when they get that job offer, and then how to negotiate their first contract, what to say, how to say it, and really how to level up in the workplace. So yeah, that's me. Nurse practitioner, mommy, nurse practitioner coach.
Basically taking all your experience and helping other people along the way as well, even though you have a lot going on. And trust me, guys, when we checked in earlier, the house was, the triplets are probably like, where's mom? Because they were real live and active in the background earlier.
Kathleen and I literally talked 25 minutes ago, and the scene was
on both ends.
You look amazing.
And just to mention, we're going to be making a meal from start to finish with no TV magic tonight. And if you have any questions, Chris is actually here, my husband, to relay them. Questions, comments, and he will be on the ones and twos tonight. Before we have our first question, let's just start our pot of water. We're going to be boiling about half a pound of pasta or so. So if you're cooking along tonight, thank you, welcome. Just go ahead and start your pot of boiling water. Whenever you boil pasta, and then we're boiling about half a pound, I have a good amount of water in here already. We just want to get that started before we do anything else, because honestly, cooking the pasta is the hardest part of this whole experience tonight. Do we have a question?
Yes, someone said Monica's pulling up the sleeves. She is red deep.
Did you hear that, Monica?
No, what happened?
They said you're pulling up your sleeves. You are red D.
Look, let me tell you something. I'm so excited right now. You cannot tell me I'm not about to be a chop champion like you. Like celebrity chef, Monty. I don't know what my name will be. My shrimp may or may not be a little rubbery, although you taught me how to not make them rubbery. We don't know yet. But
have you not tried one yet?
Have
you not tried one yet?
Absolutely not.
Oh.
I know, and that's what. See, this is why I'm not a Top Chef, because Top Chefs try it, make sure that it's right. But no, I'm just so excited. I have all my stuff, and I'm just ready to go. I'm telling you guys, I was so excited for this specific dish because I'm a Maryland girl, so I wanted seafood, and I wanted something quick because I'm a mom, and I didn't want to have to, be over the heat too long. So I'm excited about this fresh, cold, just springy. I'm just so excited. Salad.
Exactly. All right, so we have our pasta water boiling. Again, that's the hardest part of this dish. This is a great salad that'll translate to the summer because you can get pasta cooked in about 20 minutes, like total time. And then while our water's boiling, we're going to get everything else ready. So the first thing that we're gonna chop is our cucumber. I have an English cucumber here. Do you have any? Yeah, you have the one, you took off the plastic already. So English cucumbers come in plastic because you can eat the skin. The skin's a lot more delicate than the American ones that have that waxier skin. Totally my preference when we're cooking or when I'm eating cucumbers. Let me just remove my skin or not my skin, my plastic. Don't want to eat that.
See, I took mine off early because I knew I wouldn't be able to finesse it like you.
And we have a couple options. So this salad, I got a lot of comments when I sent out the newsletter. Like, there's not ingredient amounts or blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. They're like, I'm not a chef. I can't cook. This salad is very, very flexible. Like I say, recipes are guidelines. So you can mix and match for your own personal taste. So I will say we're going to use about half of this cucumber because it's a very large cucumber. And you can cut it any way you want. I'm going to show you a couple ways and then you can decide how you want to. So the first way is just simply into little cubes, which you would cut your cucumber into planks that look like this, and then cut your cucumber into little squares. This is generally the way that I do it when I'm cooking. Or if you want to get a little fancier, you can cut it into half moons. So I cut it from this piece in half, and then I'm going to slice it down on the bias like so. So I end up with some half moons that look like this. Which way are you going about it?
I'm going fancy, let's be honest. That's why I wore my pearl headband. Oh, and by the way, Kathleen and I are sorors, ladies of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. So I did want to wear my little pearl headband. I was going to wear pink, but I was like, let me just, I knew you were going to be classy and black, so I had to do the same.
I love it. I love it. So yeah, we just wanted to cut up our cucumbers. There's a question. Chris is getting very frustrated that I'm not asking the question.
Hold my hand up. Can you explain the difference between English cucumbers and Persian cucumbers?
English cucumbers and Persian cucumbers are pretty much the same thing. They're just a little bit smaller. Persian cucumbers are smaller. If you notice, the skin, they're also wrapped in plastic generally. So the skin is a lot more edible than your American cucumbers. So I grew up eating American cucumbers, and then when I started working for Will and Jada, I found out about these English cucumbers, and my life.
I'm sorry, working for who?
For Will and Jada, a long time ago, 10 years ago or so. Yeah, my life has changed forever because they're just so much better. Honestly, they just taste so much better.
I feel like sometimes American cucumbers are a little bit too soft in the middle or something.
They're soft. You should generally peel them because they're again, the skin, it's edible. It just doesn't taste that good. Although there is a place for them if you peel them in a Greek salad or if you need a lot of cucumbers because they are a lot less expensive than your English cucumber for sure. Yeah. All right, and then Monica and I talked about this before, but since we are chopping a lot of things for this dish, we just have a plate nearby for our mise en place to put everything on there so we don't have our cutting board all crowded as we continue.
Oh,
you're fast over there. Are you done already? Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, Monica's also a chef. Sometimes she shows off on Instagram the meals she creates for her family. The triplets get amazing breakfast. The breakfasts always get me over there. They look amazing.
We're a breakfast family for sure.
All right, so the next thing that we're going to chop up is our cherry tomatoes. This bowl used to be full this morning. I don't think that Chris knew I was using these today.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But we're just going to cut them in half or in quarters. I never ever like to have salads with full tomatoes because I don't really like how they burst in your mouth. So simply just cut them in half. Or since I only have 3 here, I'm going to cut them in quarters so they stretch a little bit longer or a little bit further.
Monica's mother said you guys are represented for AKs everywhere.
Oh, did you hear that, Monica?
What's the question?
We're representing for AKs everywhere. Your mom chimed in.
Oh, we are.
So can you tell us a little bit more about when you started and what decided you or what made you decide, wow, that was great English, to start this compensation course to help fellow nurse practitioners or people growing in the industry?
Yeah, so The idea for the course actually was around 2016, 2017. And it actually took 3 years for me to completely write it, have it professionally filmed, and launch it. Partially because I became pregnant with triplets and had a little delay. But I just noticed that, you know, for those who don't know, nurse practitioners are advanced practice healthcare providers. So in many spaces, we function similar to a physician in that we see our own patients, we write prescriptions, we can do procedures. We don't do major surgery. Our babies. So it's kind of, we're advanced practice healthcare providers. We're not physicians, but we do see patients in the hospital and in the clinic. And I noticed that most nurse practitioners, we start off as registered nurses first. And as RNs, it's kind of like you graduate from nursing school and you start as an RN. It doesn't matter if you went to Cornell or Hampton or Bowie State. Everyone starts at the same salary, period. There's no negotiating. It's a tiered profession. So you start at this and you get a little bit of a raise here and there, but it's not a merit-based or productivity type raise. Now you go back to school, you become a nurse practitioner, and whoa, you have negotiation power. But no one's ever taught you how to do that.
Yeah.
And then put in the fact that most nurses statistically are women, and we are the ones who generally don't ask, and that's just a statistic. I'm not making it up. You have like the perfect storm for people who get taken advantage of. So I wanted to make sure that I was someone who taught nurse practitioners how to negotiate, that they can negotiate, what they can ask for, red flags to look out for in their contract. And it's exciting because it actually helps other revenue producing providers. So I have physician assistants in my course. I've had physicians take my course. One of my course, he got $1,000 at his evaluation. So yeah, it's exciting because I do believe that women need to ask. And the statistic is 70% of the women who ask will get what they ask for, and 40% of those women will get more than they ask for. So if you remember nothing else besides how cute my headband is and how great of a chef I am, remember that you have to ask. You're rarely going to get what you don't ask for, but the statistics are on your side that if you ask, you'll probably get it.
Yeah, that is a great lesson. I mean, in any industry, like you said, women in general, we just don't ask to get paid, and we deserve it probably more than anyone else, because we're always the ones like, oh, let me help, or let me just be extra helpful, and we're not getting paid for it. So it's like so great that you are inspiring people to do that, and it goes like cross career wise, not just practitioners, but for sure. Awesome. Okay, so far, if you're just joining us, welcome to Real Life Cooking. We are making prawn pasta salad. We've chopped our cucumbers, we've chopped our tomatoes. Monica is actually super fast for a guest on Real Life Cooking. And she was talking and chopping at the same time. I'm impressed. That must be those mommy skills coming through.
Oh, look. You're about to be, I'm so excited.
The next thing that we're going to work on is our avocado. So our avocado is the most tricky thing that we'll cut. A lot of people hurt themselves when they're cutting avocados. So just pay attention. I'm sure you know how to cut avocado, but maybe I might teach you something. So what you're going to do is just place your knife inside the avocado, and then instead of like holding your avocado and rubbing your knife around, I generally like to twist the avocado around my knife on my board. And then if your avocado is nice and ripe, it just kind of pops open. And then to get the seed out, so this is a little dangerous, but you have to be confident in your skills and abilities. You're going to take your knife, tap it on the seed so it's stuck inside, and then just twist it. And it'll out pretty easily. Your turn.
A lot of hearts. I see a lot of hearts. I'm probably the only person in America who does not like avocados. I have to admit, I didn't even buy one because if I did, it would probably be wrong and be the wrong kind, the wrong one. But I wish I did because I could have done a knife trick with you. But I do like guacamole, which talk about me later. Don't talk about me now, but I do like guacamole. But yeah.
I mean, no, that makes sense because the avocado, sometimes people don't like avocados because of the texture. And the guacamole, you have a lot more flavor, like with the lime juice and the onion and like textures inside of there. So totally fine if you don't like avocado. Like I said, this is a guideline, not a like straight, you got to follow all the rules. If you are cooking along with your avocado, we want to make some avocado fans. And so the way you're going to do that is cut them into quarters. And then I'm gonna cut straight down without cutting through the top here. And then I'll just peel them out and I'll show you my fancy trick later. So the top right here is still attached and there's some lines going through here. And then I'll peel it out and then I will fan it out like so. And then I'm just gonna squeeze a little bit of lime juice or lemon juice on it so it doesn't brown in the meantime. So what were if you don't like avocado, I'm sure you didn't give your children avocado as like one of their first foods. That's like normally a first food of children, right?
They like it.
Oh, they do like it. They love it. Avocado?
Yeah, they love it.
Oh.
And they love guacamole, like I showed you earlier. They crush it, but they do like avocado. I've been really intentional about not limiting them trying foods because I don't like them. So, yeah, I've been really intentional about that. And there's like all these different toddler food pages that I follow, of course, and, you know, millennial motherhood, you're looking for advice from everybody. But I mean, really, you know, I've been trying to make sure I give them a little bit of everything. I mean, fruits, vegetables that I usually wouldn't eat, they love them. And then actually I'm eating more like a diverse amount of like fruits and vegetables because of them. So they're like, I'm like, raspberries are like a little hairy.
You want to be a good example for them.
What'd you say?
I said you want to be a good example for them. Like, even if you don't like it, you're like, so good.
That's exactly right. Because they're like, Mommy, where's your raspberry? And I'm like, it's hairy. I don't want it. And I'm like, right here, baby. Oh, so good. So good. But yeah, I want them to have a really diverse palate, and I don't want them to be picky eaters. So we've been giving them everything from the beginning. Even the beginning, it was pureed meat, pureed mango. I mean, literally everything. And then now, obviously, they eat table food.
Yeah.
And they have quite a little bougie taste buds now.
Were you cooking all that food, or like did you get like a meal service for them, or not a meal service, but like
we tried different meal services, mostly just because I was collaborating with different brands, and they didn't love them. I'm gonna be quite honest, they just didn't. They really do like when I fix the food. To keep it real,
nothing
they really
like mom's cooking.
So I do take some shortcuts. Like frozen fruit is amazing for smoothies. If I'm trying to sneak greens in, I put kale and spinach in a smoothie. That's something that's quick and easy. Their baby food, I didn't make all their baby food. If you're a full-time working mom, it might not feel as feasible. So yeah, I mean, it was kind of a mix, like a hybrid. And then thankfully we have an incredible village of my mom and some aunties who definitely put their foot in some food for my girls and still cook for them. So thankfully it's the village plus me plus the grocery store. Yeah. I'm just, you know, when you have three, I'm just not that anal about stuff. I'm just like, yeah, let's try it. You know, I've never been really restrictive with them. Like, let's go. You know.
Oh, we have a question.
Natasha said that she didn't like avocados either, but after pregnancy, then she started liking them. Are there any foods that either one of you did like now that you don't like before, Monica and Chefleen?
So the question is, did your taste buds change during pregnancy? First of all, before we answer that question, my water's boiling.
Mine too.
Okay, so we're gonna put a tablespoon of salt in our water first, and then we're gonna put our pasta in, about half the box. And then we're not gonna put any oil, we're just gonna stir it around so it doesn't stick together, and then we'll let it cook like according to the box directions, which is about 8 to 10 minutes or so. And while we're doing that, I'll answer the question first. Being pregnant, I haven't really changed so much. I would say I really like passion fruit a lot more than I ever have in life, and grapefruit, like more acidic things. And I don't really like chicken that much anymore. Or seafood. Seafood's coming back, but for a while it was not that great for me. In general, at the beginning, I just wasn't as hungry as I used to be. Not even because I wasn't really nauseous, I just wasn't hungry. So I had to like force myself to eat. But there's nothing that I didn't like that I'm like, oh my God, I really like that. Also, right now I've been on a super cereal kick. Like any kind of cereal.
That cereal, it's different when you're pregnant.
It's so good. Like
it's
with the
delicious.
The cold almond milk, just, I don't know. It's like I'm eating a bowl of ice cream.
Yeah, cereal hits different when you're pregnant. And I'm going to tell you now, it goes through to postpartum because it's quick, it's easy, and I mean, especially if you plan to breastfeed, you're going to get these cravings at like 2, 3 in the morning. You're going to be thirstier than a junkyard dog. And let me tell you, that cereal, delish. I had a general fried food aversion for most of my pregnancy. I had an aversion to chicken, most meat. I was really sick in the beginning of my pregnancy, hence me not letting everybody know I was pregnant. I just had to stay focused on the mission, child. But even afterwards, I of course I love chicken again. I mean, let's be honest. I don't love cooking it though. I mean, when I was pregnant, I think part of the aversion was like cleaning, cooking, like handling meat.
Yeah.
It just was kind of averse to it. But I was like, I had this like Peruvian chicken like kick at the end of pregnancy. That was like Peruvian chicken and salad. Like that was like all I wanted.
With the green sauce on the side?
Yes, that's all I wanted. It was delicious. And then now I'm like, ugh, I don't want a Peruvian chicken.
Yeah, I also really like, because before I didn't eat gluten at all, it was really like affected my body in a weird way. But now I'm so thankful this baby has made me allow me to eat bread and donuts and all kinds of things that I wasn't like before. It made my stomach hurt so bad, and now I'm like perfectly fine. So I hope that continues for the rest of my life too. But we'll see.
I need a bread and pasta version. That's what I need. You know, hot girl summer's coming. Well, I don't know if it's gonna be hot girl summer, but
what type of pasta are you using, and can that be substituted for any other type of pasta?
Tonight we're using penne pasta. Yes, you can use any kind of pasta that you like. Bow tie. I don't even know the other kinds of pasta off the top of my head at the moment. No, I wouldn't use spaghetti.
What about like rigatoni?
Yeah, rigatoni. That's the one I was trying to think of. Thank you. Rigatoni, like any pasta that's shaped in like a smaller shape, but nothing like long and stringy. Like a pappardelle would be weird. Spaghetti would be weird. Angel hair would be weird. So something like cutely shaped, like or chetti, the little ear pasta would be cute. All right. So our pasta's in the water. Our avocado, cucumbers, and tomatoes are cut. So now let's talk about the herbs that we're going to be using. Actually, no, sorry. Before we get to our herbs, let's make our dressing because we're going to want to toss our sort of warm pasta in our dressing. So we're going to need a bowl to create this in. We're going to need mayonnaise, ketchup, Worcestershire sauce, and lemon juice, and then also if you like horseradish. Chris, do you like horseradish? So this salad is based off of like a cocktail, like a shrimp cocktail. So we're essentially creating like a shrimp cocktail kind of sauce that we're going to toss everything in. It's a cocktail sauce. Yeah, like it's kind of like, have you ever had like a crab Louis salad? Like that's the kind of dressing we're going for here. So again, very easy, all pantry ingredients. Pretty much probably everyone has these things in their pantry. All right, we have questions?
Yes, but this can probably be long to Monica. Could you share the pros and cons of being a nurse practitioner? Someone's thinking about moving in that direction, but I don't know if you guys want to do that now or you want to explain the sauce.
Let's talk about the sauce before and then we'll answer that question. So we're going to be adding 2/3 of a cup of mayo. Again, I'm going to eyeball everything. You can kind of eyeball it too if you like, Monica, because you know you're a chef over there. But
oh, please.
2/3 of a cup of mayo. It's a mayo-based dressing. 1 to 1.5 tablespoons of ketchup. Just depends on how tomatoey you want it to be. And then tomatoey is a word. And 3 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. And then we're going to use lemon and horseradish to taste. And while we're doing that, the question was, can you explain the pros and cons of being a nurse practitioner? Someone is thinking about moving in that direction.
Yes. First, I'll say I'm going to be watching what this eyeball looks like so that I can mimic it. And I'm definitely using one of the girls' spoons because when you're a mom, you start using all the little things that they have because it's like the perfect size for everything. So ignore the pink spoon. Oh, okay. That's 2/3 a cup, child. Let me kind of match pitch.
So if you this is a cup. So 2/3 of this. So this is
the thing is, I have my stuff over here, but you know, when you started talking, I'm gonna eyeball it, and you did too. I was like, oh, let me not show her I have the cup things I was so pressed to have out here, but I'm putting it over there with my stash.
I feel like even now that I looked at it, I could use a little bit more.
So
okay. It's a mayo-based sauce, so if you don't like mayo, this might not be the dressing for you. But yeah,
I do. I like it. So pros and cons of being of going towards nurse practitioner. So first of all, you know, I kind of educated you guys about the role and kind of scope of nurse practitioners. But I'll tell you, to become a nurse practitioner, you have to first be a nurse. So I do tell people, you know, if you're kind of looking at being a nurse practitioner or a physician assistant or, you know, different avenues. You need to first research what it takes to become that specific job or specialty, because some people say, oh, I want to do that. And they're like, oh, wait, I have to do what? So first, look into that. And then if you're like, okay, I actually like this. Pros are tons of autonomy. You can make a lot of money. You certainly make an impact. You make a difference. We are the most trusted profession in America, nurses. So we're nurses first. So there's that. Being a nurse practitioner, you really can do anything. You can teach, you can do research, you can work in ambulatory care settings, which is like a doctor's office. You can work in the hospital and round on patients. You can see patients prior or after surgery. You can do midwifery and deliver babies. Not in time for Kathleen's baby, but for somebody's baby. So yeah, there's so much that you can do as a nurse practitioner. Like I said, financially, it's a great move for you and your family because it can be very lucrative. And again, autonomy. You get to kind of make your schedule, see your own patients depending on the state you live in, etc. Cons, it's a lot of work to go through nursing, NP school, to do your clinicals. There were times, and my mom can attest to it, Ben can attest to it, because we were dating in NP school, where I would go 27 days straight with no days off. Literally, I'm talking weekends, days, nights. You work holidays, you work weekends, you work anniversaries, 12-hour shifts as a nurse, and then plus you're in school, you have to go to class, you have to go to clinical. It's a lot of work. So yeah. I would say that, it's definitely not a get-rich-quick scheme. And depending on the state, it might not even be get-rich at all. But and if you don't take the compensation course,
you got to just take the compensation course, and then it is a get-rich. But not
you have to. But I would say definitely pros is an incredible profession where you can truly make an impact. And cons, it's just with anything that is important or wonderful in life. It takes work. It takes time. It takes effort. It takes money. NP school is not free. And I don't know what Biden's going to do for us, but the way things are looking, you're going to still be paying for school. So I hope that helps a little bit. You're always welcome to DM me, Monica DNP, if you have other questions.
Awesome. Thanks for that. Yeah. I think just with and another thing about nurse practitioners is you guys are basically just as educated as doctors, right? Like, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, especially like I'm in Washington, D.C., and it's a full practice authority state. There's so many NP-run practices here that are incredible patient outcomes, amazing patient satisfaction. Yeah, I mean, like I said, besides major surgery and some other things, it's very similar. Now, physicians, I won't slight them. They go through a lot more school, period. I mean, the hours through residency and fellowship, and but there also can be in $500,000-$600,000 debt. That's the average.
Yeah.
So just kind of look at your options. But certainly, I tell people, being a nurse practitioner is healthcare. So if you don't want to go into healthcare, it's not
wrong way to go.
You're going to be taking care of patients.
If you're not a customer-focused person, maybe not.
It literally has become hospitality in some ways, because patient satisfaction scores are so much more important sometimes than patient outcomes. But that's a whole soapbox I plan not to get. Look at those hearts. Everyone who's on here who is in any type of healthcare is like, that's right, girl. Yes, 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 yes. But anyway, back to the sauce.
Back to our sauce. So we have 2/3 a cup of ketchup, or 2/3 a cup of mayo, 1 to 1.5 tablespoons of ketchup. We're adding 3 teaspoons of Worcestershire, whatever you want to call it. I use this often, and every time I have the same conversation with the person I'm cooking with. What do you call this sauce?
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire. Oh, I don't like that.
How much do I put?
Or not tablespoons. Sorry, 3 teaspoons.
That's a lot.
That's enough
already. A teaspoon is a lot more than you think it is. And this is going to add that smoky background kind of savory note. It's going to cut the ketchup, like the acidity of the ketchup. And then...
Yeah, you don't need to make me...
Last but not least, Chris is over here being real picky. Like he's going to cook dinner himself. And then we're going to add in lemon juice to taste. So I'm going to add in about half of my fresh lemon first. And then I'm going to stir this around and taste it and see how I feel about it.
So how do you make sure the seeds don't go in? Do you just put your hand there? You take them out first?
So generally I look at my lemon to see how many seeds there are in there. If there's a lot, I'll pick them out with my hand before I even start to squeeze it. And then this is probably not the most efficient way, but I normally just squeeze it in and then pick out the seeds. Because I don't know. That's just how I do it.
You're going to make such an amazing mom, Kathleen, let me tell you, because that is just like, You're gonna make an amazing mom. That's such a mom thing to say. I haven't squeezed it in their child. Pull it out when I see it. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I could use my hand and like squeeze into my hand. Some people do that, but then your whole hand is like extra lemony. You could use a tool, like one of those lemony and tomatoey are both words. Hater. You could use one of those tools, but then you have to wash that tool. So it's not the end of the world to pick out a few seeds. Now, if I looked at the lemon and it had like 16 seeds in it, I might use my hand to avoid getting those seeds in there. All right, so now we're just gonna stir this around.
You don't use a lemon squeezer?
No, I don't like to. You guys know I'm a lazy chef. I don't like to wash dishes, so the least amount of dishes I can use, the better. Yeah, we do. I think. I might have got rid of it honestly when we moved because I don't use it.
I use it.
Anyway, we're gonna mix this. We're gonna mix this together.
I'm gonna come up close because I want to see the color of your sauce. Okay.
It's not so
I
red.
need a little bit more ketchup.
And we're gonna season it with some salt and pepper, just like a pinch of each. And then again, we're gonna taste it and see how we feel about it before we move on. Because you might want to add more ketchup. You might want to add more lemon juice. My heart, I'm gonna want to add more lemon juice because I always add more lemon juice.
Just add all the panko.
All the what?
I just spilled a whole thing of panko breadcrumbs.
Oh.
It just fell out. So
leave it for Ben to clean up.
Huh?
Leave it for Ben to clean up.
Oh, that's exactly what I'm doing. I was trying to get it off the screen so you know.
Oh, no one
tacky.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely leaving it for Ben.
You missed it earlier when you were talking. The whole thing of ketchup exploded in my face. Because we're almost out of ketchup, so I put it all the way down, and then when I opened it up, it was like.
I literally just bought some ketchup, surprisingly.
All right, so when you taste this, use like a cucumber or something, because you're not just going to eat this dressing by itself, so you want to taste it with something. Like I said, I'm adding more lemon to mine because I'm a lemon person.
I'm going to add some more lemon to mine as well.
We have a question.
It's good, has a little bite to it.
Her mom commented that Ben loves to clean, so that's a great thing.
Let me tell you, there were so many times early in our relationship where I questioned why we were brought together. So many times because we're so different. I mean, we couldn't be more different. So there were a lot of times I used to question it, but then little by little, God made it so clear. First, Bellamy, Kaden, and Kennedy. I mean, what kind of miracle is that? And second, he loves to clean. Like,
man,
he loves it. And when you have 3 toddlers, having a spouse who loves to clean.
I mean, even if you don't have 3 toddlers, having a spouse who loves to clean, it would be heavenly.
Look, let me say, I can never complain about Ben Carter, okay? Look, I could complain a little bit early on, but now I'm like, oh no, child, there will be no Ben slander accepted. That man is an angel on earth.
Angel on earth.
Oh my God.
That's hilarious. Also, if you guys want to add a little bit of horseradish, that is going to give it like a little even more of a bite. What you're tasting from, you said there's a bite already. That's from the Worcestershire sauce. But if you want to make it a little more spicy, you can add horseradish. You could add sriracha if you like spicy, extra spicy. I'm going to omit this because someone is a little bit of a picky eater here in this household. But
not Chris.
Did you meet him yesterday?
I
was going to tell everyone. So for those of you who don't know, Kathleen's husband and my husband used to be roommates for a short stint about maybe like 10 years ago, 9 years ago. Yeah. And I'll never forget, well anyway, I don't need to say that story. But the end of this.
No, tell that story.
I
want to know the story too.
I was going to say I spent the night, but I don't want to say I spent the night on live. I spent the night.
You're married now with 3 kids. I think you're good.
It's all right.
It worked out. So,
but
Chris was fried chicken in the morning. And I mean, this was the bougiest chicken I'd ever seen fried because he had actual chicken breast, like white chicken breast. He chopped it up into chunks and he made chicken nuggets. And I'm like, this guy is genius. I mean, this is like, we were like early-ish 20s. And I'm like, yes. He is actually in here he was cooking. So the fact that you 2 are together, I'm not surprised.
Well, now
the skills anymore.
Yeah, now he doesn't feel like he has to cook. He's like, I'm married to a chef. What am I doing? Why would I cook? Although I will say, to his credit, he does make really good breakfast. Eggs are his thing. And I actually would prefer to fry the chicken just because it's a little more clean. He makes, and the chicken is good. When he fries things, it's good. It's just a little bit messy.
I like to use all the dishes.
Unlike me, I use a little bit of dishes, thinking ahead, like how much I have to wash. He doesn't really have that in his mind. All right, so we have our dressing done. Do you like how it tastes? Do you need to adjust it in any way? Okay. So I just tasted a piece of my pasta. My pasta is almost done. We're looking for kind of al dente, which means like has a little bit of bite to it. Oh, the color?
Ask her.
Oh, is yours? I mean, her color could be a little bit different depending on how much ketchup you use.
Well, you can't see it because of light, but you can't see it that well.
Honestly, the color doesn't matter as long as it tastes good to you. Like, it doesn't matter.
It does taste good. Make a little more ketchup.
For our pasta, when it is done, we are going to strain it out. And unlike any other time when you cook pasta, we are actually going to rinse it off to stop the cooking process. Generally, that would be super frowned upon. It probably still might be frowned upon. But we want to rinse off that starch that is normally kept on when you're making hot pasta dishes to help the sauce cling. We want to rinse that off, and we're going to add some olive oil and season with garlic powder and salt once you've rinsed it off. That is a good trick for pasta, no matter what kind of pasta dish that you're making. Anytime you drain it out, season it with something. Like, pasta is boring and bland, and even if you're tossing it in sauce, it doesn't hurt to season it before you toss it in the sauce. Even making mac and cheese, it's like the #1 secret. Like, season it with some seasoning salt before you mix it in with your meat your milk and cheese. So yeah, once that's done, I think mine has like a minute or so. Generally, I just taste it to see how I feel about it. I'm gonna taste it one more time, actually. Where did my spoon go?
I think mine is done.
Yeah, actually, I think mine might be too.
I might have put mine in a little bit earlier than you. Okay.
I think mine might be too. But this is like, people always ask, like, you know, my official chef tricks. It's really just tasting things as I go along. Like, I do kind of have an internal clock to know when things are done now, but I always taste it still. Question?
Do you throw long pasta on the wall to see if it sticks?
I don't. Generally, I don't throw long pasta on the wall to see if it sticks. Although I have done that in real life cooking before. Yeah, I think my pasta's done. It's perfect. I'm going to strain it out, which means I have to go off camera for a second.
So, Kathleen, I was literally like 2 weeks ago years old when I learned that you could put the strainer on top of the pot and dip it and turn it over. Like, so I literally go like this, and then I pour it over. I mean,
I'm so glad you learned that trick. Probably.
I'm sure I learned it from Instagram. I'm sure. Okay. Voila.
So we're just rinsing our pasta under some cold water to kind of try to stop the cooking process a little bit. We want it to be like, not freezing cold, but not like super hot. So when we put it with our spinach, it doesn't just wilt our spinach away.
How long do you rinse for?
I think I did that for what, about a minute or so. It's just so that when I touch my pasta, it's not gonna burn my hand. So I can totally touch it now, and it's like perfectly fine.
Okay.
And then once it is rinsed, I am gonna toss it with a little bit of salt again, and a little bit of garlic powder. Question.
How did you and Monica meet?
Funny story about how Monica and I met. Monica and I actually met before
We're telling all of our business tonight.
I know, right? Before I even knew Chris existed in the world, Monica and I met halfway across the world in Dubai on a trip that I had invited myself to with my best friend. And Monica ended up being part of the group that we were all hanging out with in Dubai. So that's how I met Monica.
We literally met in Dubai. Isn't that crazy?
I know. And then, what was that, 2015? So then 2 years later, I met Chris.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Didn't you go to India right afterwards?
Yeah, we went to Goa right after we went to Dubai, which highly recommend that place. I actually liked it a lot better than than Dubai. Did you like Dubai?
You know, I think I would have liked Dubai better with a different crew who wanted to do more touristy things and go to the mosques and to this. Is it the souks? I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't go to that?
No.
Oh.
Like the gold markets and oh my gosh, it was like yacht, loud music, alcohol, yacht, beach, more loud music, more alcohol. Let's be honest, I loved it. And now that I have triplets, I'm so thankful for those experiences. I can take them to a gold market, but I can't take them on the yacht with the music and the. Yeah. So I'm not gonna complain, but I think I would have liked it more if I was able to like kind of get more of the culture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Seth and I went off and we did do the mosque and the gold, but we also did plenty of the partying too. So we were like in the 100 million degree weather at the souks, like just dying. Like, why did we consume so much alcohol to walk around these?
I should have been with you guys.
All right, so you seasoned your pasta with salt and garlic powder, right?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. And then what we want to do is grab a little of a bowl, and we're gonna put most of our dressing into this bowl. This is still super hot, but we're gonna leave some of it in here, and we're actually gonna toss our pasta in a little bit of this dressing. So I put most of my dressing into this little tiny bowl, but like you know the kind of leftover that you have here, and yeah. Put our pasta in here so it can coat inside of this. I'm gonna get rid of this hot pan.
So 2 things.
Oh, I gotcha.
Question time.
Oh, question?
So Monica's mom said she had a time in her Dubai. And then also someone said, when is Chefleen coming? Oh, what is Chefleen up to these days? Better question, when are you coming to the Carter's house so they can invite themselves?
Wait, what?
No, it was Cammy Rob.
Oh. What am I up to these days? I'm growing a human. So that's pretty much my focus at the moment. But, you know, I don't know. Maybe someday soon. So we have most of our dressing in a bowl reserved. We toss, so no waste here. We toss the rest of our pasta into here. So we're really making sure that every element of this dish is seasoned. And then now all we basically have to do is chop up some herbs and assemble our salad. Yay! So we have 3 different herbs that we're using. We have dill, which tastes a little grassy, a little citrusy. We have mint, which if you don't use mint in salads, it adds a really nice freshness, coolness, and sweetness. And dill and mint together are so amazing. Just a really simple salad is cucumber, tomato, lemon juice, dill, and mint. So good. Garbanzo beans, if you like those. And then chive is going to add like that oniony flavor, which is going to help kind of balance out some of that mayo that we have going on in the dressing. So we need about, again, totally to your taste. If you don't like any one of these herbs, you don't have to use it. But I do really enjoy the combination of all 3 of them. And you said this morning you haven't really used these herbs. So
I'm so excited about this mint, everyone, because it smells incredible. It's literally like a bouquet. Haha. No. I've never ever used mint in a dish at home. So I've had mint in a dish, obviously, when I'm out at the restaurant. But I was really excited because it's kind of like when you do something like this, you realize how underused certain things are in your life. And the other thing is I've recently got into vegetable gardening. I see Morgan on here. She's been helping me. So I'm excited because I'm going to, I guess they call it propagate or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to grow more mint from whatever I don't use tonight. So I'm very excited about that. I was watching YouTube all day to learn how to do it. And I'm just so impressed. Like if you're looking to see what I'm doing, like if you look at my search engine, it's always how to grow different vegetables. And yeah, that's really about it. That's what I look at.
That's exciting. My mom kept telling me in our new apartment, we need to get one of those hydroponic things that like grows in the air or mint. I haven't gotten one yet, but maybe in the future. So for our mint, we're actually going to take a few of the leaves, maybe like 5 or 6 of them, and stack them on top of each other. And then we're going to roll them up into like a little cigar kind of shape.
Ooh.
And then we're gonna chiffonade it, which means little ribbon. And chiffonade, you're gonna take that little cigar shape and just kind of cut your knife through it to create those little ribbons.
So did you roll it long ways or short ways?
I rolled it long ways. It doesn't really matter, but I think it's a little easier because you have more surface area if you roll it long ways. Do we have a question?
Yeah, can they last outside the fridge the next?
Oh, good question. So keeping your herbs, I put them in this pretty little glass for now. In my experience here in New York, herbs don't really last outside of the fridge because they just end up wilting, even if they're in water like flowers. Sometimes when I used to work in the Hamptons, they kind of did just because the weather, the beachy weather was a little bit better. But I find the best way to keep your herbs is to wrap them in paper towel and keep them in a Ziploc bag, and they will keep for a long time like that, as long as everything is like, if you wash them, make sure they're completely dry. Mint will last probably about a week. Dill will last up to 2 weeks sometimes. Chives, not so much because they're already like kind of cut. Parsley, flat leaf parsley will last like that for, like, I've had parsley that's lasted 3 weeks in paper towels and Ziploc bags. But this looks really pretty. Like if you have people coming over, it makes you look like a real chef. You can just put it out like you do that.
Can you show the ribbons?
Oh yeah, here are the ribbons. So they're kind of still bunched together, but they look like that. Yeah, that looks good. So you're gonna kind of just separate those. All right. So actually, whatever you're gonna serve your dish in, Monica, you can actually just start putting your herbs in there because we're gonna start assembling. And then our dill, I'm just gonna pick off like a handful of it or so, and I'm gonna just bunch that up and chop that up. You have a question?
Yes. How do you veganize this dish?
How do you veganize this dish? Actually, it's really simple. So you would omit the shrimp, obviously, and you can use vegan mayonnaise. And for the Worcestershire sauce, so Worcestershire sauce is actually anchovies. So if you're like super vegan and you don't eat any animal products, you don't want to use Worcestershire sauce, but you could use like a hickory smoke or even soy sauce. We'll kind of add that umami flavor. Umami flavor.
Umami.
Oh, Monica got a little frozen.
She's frozen?
Yeah. Oh, I just cut up the dill.
Yeah.
Wait, did you already cut the dill? Uh-oh. Hold on, I can't hear you. We're having some Teddy Riley moments. 1 second. You're like kind of frozen, but not really. My chives are sad. This Instacart shopper did not pick me a good box. We can hear you. You're just a little. Oh.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so. Wait, hold on. You're still very blurry.
Let me say, can you hear me?
We can hear you well.
We can hear you, yeah.
Okay, but you can't see me?
Well, now we can see you. It's just a little blurry,
So weird.
but we can't see your beautiful head. Can you see? How does it look from your view, Chris? She's clear?
It's probably because Ben keeps texting me what time it is. Gosh, I know what time it is.
He's like, get up here. I need help. Your phone can't. Okay. So to recap, we chiffonaded our mint, we chopped up our dill, and now we're gonna chop up our chives. I'm using about half the box. Yeah, I'm using about half the box of the chives because most of my chives were kind of sad. And I'm just gonna simply chop them into little dice, basically. And then we'll add that to our herb mix over here. And then all we gotta do is assemble. So we're gonna add in our spinach to our herb mix. You can use, I'm gonna use like half this box. Nope, not cutting it. I just have regular spinach here, and I'm just put it in my platter, and I'm kind of just tossing it with the herbs so it kind of mixes all together.
Yeah.
I'm mixing it together.
Okay.
Oh, we have a question.
Ben said y'all need to wrap it up. It's nearly bedtime.
Ben is not here for it. There you go. Beautiful, beautiful.
All those angel
And then
comments.
we want to season our. We want to season our with a little bit of salt and pepper. Season our greens. And then I also like to just add a touch of lemon juice to our greens. Even though we have the dressing is kind of thick and sweet. So, you know, we want to kind of lighten it up a bit with this lemon juice. Just a little drizzle, like it's not over here.
Mine's looking really good.
Yay. And then we're gonna add in our pasta. So, okay, before we start adding in anything else, you can decide in this moment if you want to make a mixed salad or a plated salad. So you can be really methodical about how you place everything on your platter, or you could mix everything together and just call it a day, whatever you want to do. So we also have our cooked shrimp already, which are here. So I'm going to be a little bit methodical about what I'm doing here. Oh. So I'm going to put some cucumbers. Oh, we have a
Am I still with you?
Yeah, we can see you.
Okay.
Now you're clear again.
Yes.
Okay. I'm putting my cucumbers. I'm getting excited.
Someone said Warden Ben, and also Ben said, y'all was doing too much talking, not enough cooking.
Goodbye, Ben. Don't eat any of our delicious salad.
I was gonna say, I was planning this for him. All those nice things I said about him.
So I'm not adding in all my pasta at this moment because I'm not gonna eat, like, I don't want to assemble this whole salad. I'd rather assemble another one tomorrow.
Yeah, me too.
So I'm gonna just assemble the amount I'm eating now. So I put in some pasta. I put in my cucumbers. I'm gonna sprinkle in my tomatoes.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna arrange my shrimp just kind of like ever so pretty. We just steamed our shrimp.
Yep.
So they're nice and plump and delicious and seasoned. And then last but not least,
so pretty.
I'm gonna add in my avocado fan. Of course, you're omitting that, so that's totally fine. Actually, I'm not even gonna use the fan. I'm gonna just add in some slices. I think that will make it look a little bit nicer.
This is so good. Oh my gosh.
And then last but not least, we are gonna drizzle with a little bit of our dressing that we have. And you can use as much or as little as you want. So literally I'm just gonna take a spoon. Bless you, did you sneeze?
Yeah, I did, thank you.
I'm just taking a spoon and kind of drizzling that on there.
I'm not going to use too much because I don't want to waste it all. I want some for tomorrow.
Yeah. And you can always, when you go to put it on your plate and you're actually going to eat it, add in more, right? This is just, we're trying to make it look pretty and extra presentable. And then if you want, you can even take some more of your herbs that you have, like your little mint or your, like a leaf of your mint or a leaf of your dill, and kind of just sprinkle, not sprinkle, but place those on just so it looks like it came from a magazine.
I'm all for that.
Yeah, we're going to take our time then.
If you knew that I was putting leaf by leaf on this right now, oh man. He would be done with me, okay?
Oh my gosh. All right. Oh my gosh, this tastes so good. All these elements together. So there's my salad, everyone. Our prawn pasta salad. Also, I forgot to mention, looks good, Monica. Careful, don't drop it off the plate.
I know, I just noticed that.
That's what always happens in my virtual cooking classes. Is everyone's like, look, and then it like slides off into their computer. I'm like, no.
This looks so good.
Well, yeah. So there's our salad. You want to take a bite? Just like chokes.
Chris, you can tell Ben he can bring the kids down.
Think you what?
You can tell Ben he can bring the kids down.
Okay.
I know
the kids are welcome back in the kitchen now. Work is done.
He can carry all three of them?
Oh my gosh, this is delicious.
Yay!
Oh my gosh, my shrimp is perfect. The way you told me how to do it is literally perfect.
Can you explain that process?
I'll explain it in the recipe, which will be.
I might be recreating this next Sunday for Easter. Actually, this would be really
this is a perfect dish for Easter. And
yes,
because it doesn't
this would
require
be
a lot
perfect
of
for Easter.
Mm-hmm. It tastes like light and springy. And now that you know how to use all these herbs and how they're combined together, hopefully that inspires you to use them more because they do create a lot of flavor without a lot of effort.
Can you show?
I mean, this is delicious. Seriously.
Facebook. Here's my son. No. So the dressing, it seems a little heavy, but when you combine it with all these fresh vegetables and fresh herbs, it gets a lot lighter, right? Like, it doesn't taste like you're just eating mayonnaise at this point.
At all. I also use a lot of lemon because I love lemon.
Yeah, that's why I told you to toss your greens with lemon just one more time, so that also kind of counterbalances everything as well.
So good. So excited.
They say love this, ladies. Please do it again.
Oh, yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Monica. Thank you so much for taking time out of your crazy busy schedule to cook with me tonight. Always a pleasure to see you.
I had such a great time. Can you put it up like this so someone who's on, take a picture and send it to me and at me, Monica the MP.
Someone, Chris, you take a picture.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, we have our technological guru replacement here. He's gonna screenshot it. Oh, it's a little blurry. He said.
One of her friends will have to do it.
All right. Well, Monica, I don't want to keep you any longer because Ben is coming.
No, they're here. Oh, they're here.
Are they
Thank
here?
you guys.
Oh.
Tell them they want to make a real cooking. No problem.
Thanks, Monica, and thanks, Ben, the real MVP, for watching the girls all night. Well, for an hour. See you guys later.